Now and forever, we bring IT to life.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for standing by. Good day and welcome to the Connect with Remedy monthly webinar series. Today's webinar is being recorded. At this time, I would like to turn the conference over to your host, Mr. Greg Keoy. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Paula. And everybody, welcome to this month's Connect with Remedy webinar. Today we have two guests with us, Rahul, Vedak, and Sharath, Bantwal, and they will be taking us through Smart Reporting, a new feature function in Remedy 9. Rahul?
Hey, thanks, Greg. Hey, thanks everyone for joining this Remedy Connect webinar series. My name is Rahul. I'm the Senior Product Manager here with BMC, focused on Remedy Product Management. I have also with me Sharath Bantwal. He is Senior Manager for Development Team here, and he's going to talk about some of the technical details of Smart Reporting. So quick agenda for the day. We'll start with what's overall with Remedy 9.0 release. We'll talk about Smart Reporting. We'll have technical details, the deployment, and all the architecture details covered by Sharath. And then we'll do a quick demo of the new application Smart Reporting. And we'll have Q&A at the end. So before we get into today's topic, Smart Reporting, just want to spend some time on Remedy 9 release. So as most of you know by now, we released Remedy early this year around May. And we also released Smart IT 1.1 and My IT 2.5 alongside. Remedy 9 includes some of the features like the technology update for AR system platform. We moved to Java, RESTful API, archives, upgrade simplifications that include three-way reconciliation, FTS improvement, CMD improvements, and so on. If you haven't gone through the webinars that we did early this year about what's new in Remedy 9, probably that's one webinar that you want to go back and see. It's already recorded and available under Remedy Connect webinar series. WorkSmart. WorkSmart, or enabling Remedy users to work smarter, is one of the theme of Remedy in the recent past. If you have seen products like My IT, Smart IT, they are truly developed with WorkSmart principles, using crowdsourcing knowledge, context-aware, location awareness, social-based interactions, consumer-style experience. As a result, we have seen some dramatic improvement in business productivity of Remedy users. However, one gap that remained before 9.0 release was reporting and analytics that suited the theme of WorkSmart. How to analyze data, how to communicate trends, how to communicate results, performance. And that kind of brings us to today's slide, today's topic, which is Smart Reporting, and why did we invest in Smart Reporting to begin with. So before getting into Remedy 9 release, BMC offered a couple of different reporting options. We have Dashboard Analytics, which is our premium offering, separately licensed. Then we had board-based in-app reporting, we have Flashboard, we have AR reporting. But customers have reported gaps in these reporting solutions. Each reporting solution available today for Remedy has some challenges, or they have some limitations in one form or other. So just to take an example of Dashboard Analytics, it's a large data warehouse solution, but it's not intuitive when it comes to self-service. Users typically rely on the business objects administrator for providing reports. On the other hand, our in-app reporting, which is based on Bird, it's fairly basic. So in most cases, what we have seen is customers take a dump of data and they analyze this data in Excel. So clearly, there are gaps in current solution that we wanted to bridge. We started looking at reporting solution that is powerful, but intuitive enough so as customers can get the data they need and get answers to the question they are looking for. Strategically talking, Remedy includes a lot of data. And when sponsors or executives are looking for information like what was improved in, what was the improvement in ITSM maturity, or demonstrate where we were when we started streamlining our services and where we are today, or there was a problem area that we kind of started this project and we want to try and go back, see that how far we have come along. None of these things are possible unless customers have intuitive and powerful reporting. It's harder to justify the value of ITSM solution in absence of a great reporting solution there. So in other words, this reporting is going to help Remedy customers and partners to prove value of Remedy, and thus it becomes very important for customers. So let's talk about what is smart reporting. So we introduced smart reporting in 9 release. It's all about creating actionable content. It's all about providing self-service mechanism, and it's going beyond the traditional reporting, going into the social and collaboration capabilities. As you can see yourself in the demo in the later part, at the core of new reporting is impressive visualization. Intuitive enough that users can click, drill into details, use sliders to on the trend chart, and there are other interaction paradigms for looking at the data in the different charts and visualization. So gone are the days when users could say that how do I get to the data? The new reporting interface is available to users to look at different reports available out of the box, or they can create new dashboard reports to slice and dice the data and get answers to their questions. As I go into the details of some of these areas, I have split this presentation and the demo into 3 themes. One is self-service capabilities, second is actionable content, and the third is the social and the collaboration paradigm of the new reporting solution. So let me get started with the first area around self-service analytics. So today, if you talk to most of the customers, in a typical setup, Remedy users will be asked to raise requests for new report. That will be delivered by centralized group. So, and once it is submitted, then you'll have the Remedy developers or administrators or business objects developers create that report and make that available for users. And this might be a right approach for maybe 50-60% of the customers who want to centralize the content, reporting content that is available to the user. But there are customers who want to give this power of creating reports in the hands of their users, and which means that that customers who are interested in the self-service need to have intuitive interface that allows the users to pull data and visualize it with some of the charting, so that they can get to the answers or the answers to the problem that they are looking for. So you can see the new reporting tool is all web-based. You can drag and drop fields from the semantic view. You can add visualizations to it, and you can use different 40+ charting options available in the tool and publish this report. There is a step-by-step guided wizard available to help you to create dashboard and reports, and all of this is available in a 100% web UI. There is no thick client you require for users or even for the administrators. Now the basic capabilities of a reporting tool, like exporting it in different formats or broadcasting the reports, all of that is available as part of this reporting solution. So we briefly talked about how this tool does kind of enable the self-service, and we will look at it in more detail when we go to the demo part. I'm going to switch to the next theme, which is around actionable content. So when we talk about content, it is 2 types of content that we have. One is operational reports and the other is KPI. So I'll cover KPI in the next slide. So operational report is going to your setup and providing insight into what element. So as an example, assume I'm a service desk manager and I need to find the status of different critical incidents currently open. And then I want to further drill to assignee level, which are the people from my team who are assigned this ticket. Or as a change manager, I want to slice and dice, all the open changes in the system. Now, if you look at, these reporting requirements, these are dependent on the current state of tickets or other artifacts. And this is what, most of the, let's say, the 80% of the users would use reporting and dashboard for. Smart reporting does a great job by providing some 70 plus operational report out of the box for different ITSM processes, or the other way to call it is for different personas in ITSM. And it's even easy to create more reports, as we saw in the previous slide. You have all the semantic view available, you have the drag and drop interface to create new reports. To move to the next area about the content is KPIs. So we talked about the operational reporting. There are other personas like service owner or process owner who are interested in not just the what element but how element. So these are the personas who are keen to understand the trends over time. So finding a trend for quarters or years to see if you are moving in the right direction. To give an example, let's say you improvised your change management process last year, and now you want to see, how much failed changes are we getting as compared to the last year. Just see how better we are from where we were 6 quarters back. Or let's say what is the percentage of critical incident over the quarters that we are getting. Are our new incident management process or improvements are doing any great job in reducing the critical incident percentage. Or the simple thing like the availability trend for critical services. Some of these examples I just talked are commonly the performance indicator or the key performance indicator that some of these persona wants to track, and these are mostly the summarized data as compared to the operational data that we looked in the previous slide. So the great thing about smart reporting is we also provide some 20 plus KPIs out of the box. For this release, these KPIs are pretty much focused on the service desk and change management, but we will keep adding more content in the forthcoming releases. Here is a quick list of KPIs that we have provided out of the box for 9th release. When we talk about content, just want to leave one thought here. Another option we had was take all the content that we have developed for current in-app reporting or dashboard analytics and kind of replicate it in the new smart reporting solution. But approach that BMC has taken is persona-based approach, focusing on the problems that different personas have and try to solve those problems, and not take just sort of report dumps that we have created over time. And that's where we will be iterative. So we have given first sort of content in the 9th release, but we'll keep building up this content through our releases and as well as through the community. Moving on, smart reporting has some of the best collaboration and social techniques embedded right in this tool. How users, if you look at the social and the collaboration aspect, how users interact, how users converse around reporting, we will, if you take like quick understanding of how typical users do the collaboration or the conversation, it will be mostly over the email. They will present it on some forum. They will arrive at some conclusion and decision. But in the process, some of this interaction is lost, and most of these conversations around arriving at a decision or concluding something are taken outside of the application. So we wanted to implement some of these conversations right in the reporting. So something like alerting, following report, or users tagging for specific topic, adding things from favorite, annotate a report. Some of these can go and add it to the chart so that when the event happened, you can actually explain that event right in the chart. What led for why there's a peak of incident for particular service. All of that you can better explain right in the chart rather than, kind of doing all of that in the presentation or, trying to do that over email. Instead of providing some of these different social interactions, the reporting is, users are then getting the context of the report, chart, or dashboard, and all of this interaction is captured and becomes baseline to what happened to this report, why did, what did we collaborate on, what did we decide on, and so on. Also, this smart reporting solution is mobile ready. For example, today you can actually access the entire smart reporting application in a browser on a mobile device, and it will render, as you can see it on your desktop. And we are looking at option to make smart reporting available on the mobile apps for future. Some of the other key things, as I talked about, was how do you get some of the updates for a report or bunch of report. If there are comments on the report, you can get it right in your reporting timeline. There is the ability to have exception reporting where only if a certain event happens, that's where you get a report notification, or you can broadcast these reports into multiple people's inbox. Those are some of the social and the collaboration aspects available in the tool, reporting tool. Okay, let me get Sharath on the call, and Sharath is going to talk about some of the underlying architecture that smart reporting is built to, as well as some of the deployment options smart reporting offers to the customers. So over to you, Sharath, here.
Okay, thanks, Rahul. So Rahul gave a good overview of the capabilities of smart reporting. So I will go sort of backstage and under the covers to explain the deployment, the architecture, and some components, and also give an idea of even the administrative aspects or customizations, and how that is very easy with smart reporting. So so this slide, what we are essentially portraying is the sort of the evolution of how you would use smart reporting. So there are some preparatory steps which are very easy, and then once you're done with that, you can we have rich out-of-the-box content, as Rahul was explaining earlier, which you can start using right away. And then once you get comfortable, you can actually customize them to derive the the best value for your for your business. So the preparatory steps are essentially installation, onboarding, and some configuration in mid-tier. So the installer is actually bundled along with the AR platform installer, and I'll go into that in the next slide. But beyond the installation, we have an onboarding stage. The onboarding stage essentially is to bring the users from AR onto smart reporting, and also copy the out-of-the-box content that BMC ships for those users to use. And then the permission model is set to a default, which is essentially to give read permissions. So the reason why users actually get copied over is for smart reporting to have its own permission model for the reporting objects. As we'll cover later, the data security is enforced by AR. So we'll go into detail later. So we'll go to the next slide. So here, this is just a snapshot of your installer, just to show that it is combined with the AR platform installer. But you have an option to install smart reporting in another host, another location, and this basically gives you an ability to distribute the installation so that AR and smart reporting are not competing for resources. So we'll go into detail later on that. So for onboarding, you have two options, or for most of you, the single company scenario is what matters. So here, what we would need is the customer name, which is the company name that you use, and then the remedy server against which you're going to pull the data from, the port, the remedy administrator user and password, and then the smart reporting administrator username password. So this has been defaulted, which you can change later. There are ways to change it, which is explained. And then you need to assign AR user as the reporting administrator. So the SI admin, the remedy smart reporting administrator is sort of the super admin, and there are reasons why the separation is there. We'll go to the multi-company situation. So this is a multi-company scenario is where a managed service provider is managing companies. And this support was enabled from 9.0 patch 1, and SP1 also will carry that with slight enhancement. So here each company which is being managed will be mapped to a tenant in smart reporting. So the tenancy is sort of a firewall. So your reporting objects as well as data is completely isolated. So there's no question of tenants across users from tenant getting access to reports or data from other tenants. And typically the MSP will act as the super administrator across the tenant, so helping in the either creation of new reports or adjusting the permissions for the administrators of each tenant. And as of the patch 1, we had an ability to onboard customers individually. So if you have a number of companies, every company needs to be onboarded individually. And with SP1, which is due in the next few days, we're going to have ability to bulk onboard. So there is a way to do in one shot. Moving on. So as you can see, there is just one field which is different from the previous interface. So here, in addition to, so in the customer name, you will, in the case of multi-company scenario, the MSP is the customer here, and each tenant will get in as a company. So each company will be onboarded by selecting each, the companies here, and the tenancy will be created. And as the tenants get created, the out-of-the-box content gets copied there, and the users for that company, get copied over into that tenant. Moving on. So here is a simple depiction of the components that work to, enable smart reporting. So you have, browser, and then you have a reporting engine, which is, currently Tomcat. And the reporting logic essentially works on top of Tomcat. And the data access is through AR-JDBC. And, this block, which is AR server and ARDB, you're already familiar with. So the AR-JDBC is a very crucial piece for smart reporting. It enables a lot of things to be a lot more easier than other reporting solutions we have had in the past, or what we support today. So one is data security is completely enforced by AR. So there's nothing on, there are filtrations which we'll talk about later, which you can do, but the essential security model is enforced by AR through AR-JDBC. There's nothing else that needs to be done here. And then localization of the data for AR data is also readily available. And then another key point is, we have a report repository which holds your reports, your views, which is the data model, and then the users and metadata permissions, all of them are in the report repository. So the report repository can physically reside in the same database as the AR database. And the access to that is through JDBC. So here is a general architecture. So on the left, you have your traditional pieces, which are the mid-tier and server group for AR server, and you have a repository. On the right, you have the smart reporting cluster, which uses AR JDBC to access the data, and you have a repository which is also accessed. Now, the key takeaway from this is you have ability to scale horizontally, where reporting is completely isolatable. Unlike in the past where we had mid-tier being a bottleneck, here once you go into reporting, you AR is or mid-tier is not in the picture, and essentially the repository access is the only one you have to take care of, and as we can see later, there are options to remove the database also as a bottleneck. So here, this is just basically isolating CPU and memory, and making reporting not actually be a performance bottleneck for the operational aspects of AR. That's the key takeaway here. So here we have a simple deployment architecture. So if you are doing a POC or it's a small setup, you're doing a dev or some tests, you're just kicking the tires to understand smart reporting. You would put all of them in the same host, and you have lesser overhead for administration. Now, in a production scenario, in a typical large enterprise, we recommend that, as we mentioned earlier, you actually move the smart reporting cluster onto other hosts and isolate the data access by database application. So then you have complete isolation of the reporting, and your day-to-day transactions are not at all affected. So this deployment option gives you the ability to completely isolate reporting. So now we, some of the best practices that we would like to emphasize. So in the Remedy world, we have customization is, one of the strong or the strengths of Remedy, and we have overlays which allow for upgrades to take care of customizations, and you can reconcile them post-upgrade. But here in reporting or in smart reporting, we need to be aware that upgrades or overwrite out-of-the-box content. So for reports, when you actually go to customize your reports, we strongly recommend that you make copies or create your reports from scratch and not modify out-of-the-box reports, because on the next upgrade, the out-of-the-box reports will be overwritten. So there are no ways to reconcile or merge them. And from a performance perspective, when you create your reports, create them specific to a use case instead of pulling columns which might pertain to multiple use cases, because every time a report runs, it's going to get all the columns, and that's going to affect your performance. So this is more of a general advice. And similarly for dashboards, a dashboard, as Rahul was saying, showing earlier, is a framework which can embed reports which can be linked. So whenever a dashboard loads, all reports actually load, and so similar to the reporting advice, we make your dashboard specific to the use case so that you don't have unnecessary reports taking more time and impacting your performance. And for views are the semantic model, the data model that makes it easy for a report user or report administrator to create a report, because you see it in a little more user-friendly names and fields. Now, there will be a moment where you will have to create your own views because of either you're using custom forms or custom fields, or you need to pull in additional fields, and you need to either customize views or create your own views. So while doing that, just like reports, make copies of views and modify them. There are detailed descriptions of how you can do copy and modify. And while doing that, make sure that the view is specifically catering to the use case that you have in mind. For the same reasons that performance will be impacted if you unnecessarily pull in data which is not pertaining to very specific use cases. So here we just want to give a glimpse of a view customization, just to show that how easy it is to. So not only is the purely user-facing aspects easy, but even the the customization and some of the administrative aspects are also easy. So this is just to showcase that fact. So view customization essentially just takes 4 steps. So first you need to initialize the view. Here your drag and drop editor and the data source in for a typical ITSM data is actually kind of fixed. And for the category list, you need to pick either general views or the KPIs. Then you go into the, you pick your forms and the joins between the forms and the columns that you're interested in. On the right hand side, you could see the columns. And then there are some options which affect the permissions. So here, in our example, we have copied and modified the incident management view. And what we really want to show is we want to see how a support group, a particular tier performed in the report. So we want to pull in that column. So we are including the CTM support group into this view. The next step is to review your fields. Here you can make adjustments like add categories or calculated fields. And then that's pretty much it. Here, before you activate the view, you can do a test report for the view by just pulling in columns and just seeing whether things are working as you expect, and then you're done. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to create a view or customize a view. So before we close this section of the backstage glimpse, we just introduced some topics, out of the many, advanced topics. Just wanted to show some things which are of immediate value. One is rebranding. So I mean, like most of the software that you use, in order to have a seamless feeling for your organization, you would want to style it in the way you want. So smart reporting can be rebranded, and the elements of smart reporting that can be rebranded are, the system header footer, images, then the charts, dashboards, styling report. These are, the styling of these can be rebranded, and some of the images can be rebranded. So there are detailed instructions. At the end, Rahul will have a reference page where you have all the links, where you have step-by-step instructions to do this. Another thing is custom translation and sorting. So we have some trivial examples here to make it easy to understand. So for example, if you have incident status, because AR actually enumerates them, they actually show up in a certain sorted order. Inside AR, it is actually taken care of, but when it comes to smart reporting, the business sense needs to be customized. So there are many other reasons. So the example given is fairly simple, but many other reasons where specific to your business you would want to have your sorting and translation done in a custom manner. So there are ways to achieve that, and there is again a step-by-step instruction of how to do that. So this is just to share that this can be done. And then finally we have source filters. So on top of the data access control that AR imposes, at reporting level you can again make your own filters. So source filters essentially are another way to, throttle or filter the data that the user accesses. For example, based on the logged in user support group, you can actually filter the data so that they only see the tickets that are related to that support group. That's one way. So again, there is some few steps, fairly easy to do that. And you need to define a filter associated with your view and use it in your report. So that's about it. So there are many more topics which we'll probably cover in some other webinars. But that sort of closes the backstage glimpse. And I'm going to hand it back to Rahul for a quick demo that shows it live. All the good things great things that he shared earlier. Over.
Hey Sharath. So we had a lot of customer interaction where customers said that we want to protect reporting load, not kind of allowing our users to log tickets or look at the changes and so on. And smart reporting does it far better way that we have done in the past. So thanks for talking about how smart reporting solves some of these challenges. I'm going to change gears here and start sharing my screen for the demo here. Let me share my screen. Great. So once you have Remedy 9 installed, once you have smart reporting installed and the onboarding activity done, you'll see a smart reporting link in the mid tier, smart reporting console. As I click on that, it will appear in a new browser tab. By default, it went to my timeline page. I'll come back to it later, but you can configure it to take it to different parts of the application. So for example, I've moved to dashboard here. And all of that is configurable. I can start with dashboard, I can go to a specific report, or I can go to my timeline view. So one of the things before I get deep into the dashboard here, smart reporting is both an executive dashboard tool as well as a reporting and analytics tool. And for some people like, including me, who are kind of used to the paradigm of dashboard analytics product, we had two different distinct products, dashboard for all the executive dashboard visualization part, and then we had analytics, which was more on the reporting data analysis. Smart reporting combines it in one experience, and you'll see that it's a pretty beautiful experience that users will have. Two, for a standard user, I have logged in, you can see everything in English language here, but if you are using other language than English, Remedy, for example, supports 10 languages. Smart reporting does support 8 of them. We don't support Korean and Russian at this moment, but the other 8 languages are supported. So if you use any of those 8 languages, when you go to smart reporting, you'll see everything in that specific locale. So let me talk about the dashboard application, or the dashboard module here. You can see a lot of content here, right? The multiple dashboard tab, the way we have segregated, the dashboard content here. We have kind of gone to the, the ITIL process or ITSM persona, so that you can see content for incident, change, problem, SRM, CMDB, and so on. Most of the content that you see here is available out of the box. There are very few tweaks that we have done for the demo, but this is what you will get when you get smart reporting working for you. So there is great out-of-the-box content available for smart reporting. So let me go to the incident management dashboard and quickly kind of go detail into incident management. You can see a couple of charts here. I have one which talks about incident analysis by support hierarchy, by service type, incident submission trend. Below I have the incident distribution by services, and then a cross-tab report. Let me go back to top and then take some specific example here. So this one, the first one, incident analysis, the support hierarchy. What we have done is we have predefined a hierarchy or drill down for this chart. What you see here is kind of the status of the incident, which is by different support companies. On the top, you can see some summary chart, which kind of gives you a glimpse of what is the distribution of these incidents by priority or urgency. It doesn't give you the specifics. It just kind of very high level summary. Since I've already predefined the hierarchy or drill down here, I can just select a particular support company. It kind of takes me to the next level, which is my support organization. I go to the next level. It gives me support, the assigned group data information, and then to the next level, it shows me different assignees and the different incidents assigned to them and the status for it. So this is pretty easy for users to kind of get to the specific data here. I'm just going to go reset and go to the top. If you could have seen the transition as I was drilling down to the details, there were even other charts were kind of getting refreshed based on what information I'm looking at. So for example, when I drill down, it kind of takes to the next level and pass that information to the other charts as well. That's the magic that filters bring in for the entire page here I have set up here. So I have incident by service type. I'm here. It shows me the same information by different services. I have a incident trend chart here, which kind of shows me all the data for incident submission trend. I don't have much data on the right side, so I'm kind of going to zoom into let's say 1 year data. And as you can see, I can quickly do some of the drag and drop interaction. I can use the slider to focus on a specific area of the chart. I can see a lot of points here, so instead of looking at the data per day, I can look at it weekly. I can aggregate it at higher level. I can go even higher to the month level. So all of these interactions are available out of the box. There is no additional thing that user need to do. And let me go to this, the cross tab. Probably cross tab is the most basic form of reporting that any one of us will be using every day. In this cross tab, I have done additional formatting. So if you see, there are some highlights on this cross tab, with orange color. The rule that I have added for this cross tab report is if the count is more than 30, then highlighted it in the orange color, so that I can quickly get a glimpse of some of the elements which are at risk, or I need to pay attention. And you can change it. In this one, I just put it a flat number of show more than 30, but you can have that to say that if it is critical and more than 5, highlight it with yellow, the other one with red, and so on and so forth. Some of the basic capabilities that you would expect from any reporting solution, like exporting it to different format, that's available in Smart Reporting as well. So I can export this report in the PDF, and that report will pop up right here in the PDF document. As you can see, pretty much the same version that you saw on the application is available here, also with the comment that whenever the number of incidents are greater than 30, that's where it is highlighted in the cells here. Also, I can drill down the set of incidents to specific incident details. So for example, I can see there are 2 critical incidents assigned to Michael. I can click on them and I can get more details of this. And I can actually go to that incident itself by cross-launching into the application. And this is already available pre-configured. So the moment I kind of click on this, it takes me to the mid-tier and shows me details of this incident. If you're using Smart IT, you can actually change this configuration to take incident details to Smart IT instead of going into the mid-tier. So all of that is configurable that you can decide when you're creating those reports. Let me quickly talk about the KPI. So if you remember when I was talking about the content, I talked about two areas. One was operational reporting. Many of the reports that we just saw on the incident dashboard were mostly operational. It shows you what exists there, and it's kind of summary data that you have. And then you have the incident KPIs, the key performance indicators, where I'm not going to look at the actual data, but some kind of aggregation of the data. So this data is summarized, and it's summarized against few dimensions like the services, priority, and so on. One key difference for KPI is KPIs are stored in AR flashboard. On the UI, they are pretty much similar to the other chart. It's just that the storage of KPIs is using the flashboard, AR flashboard that we have. But for users, they will see pretty much whether it's a KPI report or whether it's an operational report. They will have the similar visualization. They will have the similar chart option available for looking at that data. What I'm going to do next is we looked at, quickly looked at the dashboard. Let me show you some of the report that we provide out of the box. So if you go to this operational reporting area under the browse section, you can see a lot of, folders or, the segregation that we have built. We have report for asset management. We have report for change management. We have report for almost all ITSM processes that we have. So for example, for knowledge management, we have few reports. I'm going to pick, this top 10 article report and just run it here. I run this report. It shows me some of the articles which are having maximum number of views here. I can do the similar interaction. I can, export it to different format. I can share it with people. I can broadcast it to different people so that they get it by default in their mailbox, etc. Similarly, this was a kind of vanilla report which was just showing data, but I can have another report which talks about the trend. So instead of showing the data, I can have a chart which kind of gives the insight into how many articles are published over a period of time. So as you can see here, there are reports that are available for all ITSM processes out of the box. There are some 70 plus reports available for different areas of ITSM. Now let's get to the most exciting part, which is creating report. All along we were talking about how does smart reporting enable self-service. And I'm going to start with creating a simple incident management report here. So what you see here is a couple of views, or in the semantic view as we call, available out of the box. I'm going to start incident management report. So I pick up incident management here. Now what you see is the kind of area for creating a new report. It's a kind of wizard-based approach. I select data first, then go to the chart, and then finally the publishing this report. What you see on the left is a semantic view or view for incident management. Let's pause here and talk about what is today's experience for creating a new report. If you have to create a new report today, typically the users will rely on people who understand the backend or the data structure of that form or AR. And the reason is I'm kind of, as a user, I'm familiar with incident management, but in the backend, the same incident management is in the data structure. It's a HPD help desk form. And I can correlate incident management with help desk form. Similarly, if the fields are represented in different form, then they are shown on the UI as labels. So that's where this new, the semantic layer comes in picture, which kind of simplifies the entire structure of the semantic data. What you see here is again, the first thing is we don't publish all the 700 fields which are there for incident management. We have taken commonly used field and we have published on this semantic layer. Other field, if you want, you can, using the admin view, you can easily publish to this semantic view. We have, the second thing that we have done is, of those, let's say 100 fields that we have published, we have segregated those into different buckets so that users can easily find those fields. So incident detail field has, some of those commonly used fields available on the incident form. There are, the date and time related field available here. There are categorization related field available in the categorization folder and so on. So how do I start creating a new report now? I'm going to use a report which has priority. I'm going to use status. And I'm going to use number of incident. And number of incident, as you can see, available in kind of the blue dot here. It's a calculated field that reporting has added. It's not there in the backend, right? So as you saw that I was dragging this field on the canvas, and it kind of quickly got those the numbers, because I'm kind of refreshing this report. But if you have more number of records, you can turn off this auto refresh from here. Now I kind of started getting a picture of what the report will look like in terms of the content, but I'm not interested in the low and medium priority incident. So what I do is I take this priority field and put a filter as a filter. So let me go and just retain the critical and high incident data and take away the low and medium incident data. As you can see, I have by adding that filter, I can easily able to streamline the data for only critical and high incident. Similarly, if you remember, in one of the report, I was kind of, in the dashboard, I was drilling to the multiple level. I can do that analysis style in right here. I can define the drill down, drill anywhere, and so on. Okay, so for a simple report, I've got your priority, status, and count of incident. Now I go to the next piece of this report creation, which is what kind of charting I want. So the first step is I define what I want in the horizontal and vertical axis. So vertical axis, for sure, I want number of incidents, and let's say take both of these in the horizontal axis, and you will see that the moment I drag some of these, I got some charting suggestion by the tool itself, and that's where I have the auto charting option on. But I can kind of not use this auto chart option, but go and use the other chart options I have. As I talked in the presentation, there are some 40 plus chart options available. So charting like the geo maps, scatter chart, bubble chart, the stack chart, area chart, all of that options are available. So if you have the right amount, the right data, you can actually use any of these charting options. For the simple chart in the demo today, I'm just going to use what system has suggested to me. I don't see this data intuitive enough. So what I want is the critical and high priority kind of stack together. So what I do is I take this priority and put it as a color so that I get more of a stack chart here. It looks like I'm good. So I'm ready to publish this report. Some of the other options available here are on the top. You can see are I have chart positioning, chart titles, legends, redefining axis, all of those options kind of to make this chart more appealing available here. Let me go to the next step, which is publishing this report. So now it kind of gives me a draft output of how this report will look like. I can adjust the chart size right here. So instead of having a big bar chart, I can resize it. And there are there are plenty more options to kind of make this chart more appealing available here. And then the final step is I publish this report. So when I go to publish this, I can say that whether it's a public report, private report, if it is private report, who all people or groups can access it, how frequently this report will get refreshed, can I send it to other people, how do people get it, can we have it on the email or other distribution mechanisms. So I can define all of that and save this report. So that easy it was to create a report. Probably if you have, if user has understanding of what kind of information that he is expecting from the, from the reporting, probably he'll take less than 5 minutes to create a simple report in the tool. To kind of, recap it, it's a report designer experience. It's everything on the web. All drag and drop UI, even for the administrator. Today we kind of looked at the end user UI, but even for the administrator, it's the similar drag and drop interface. And it's an intuitive data model, which is at the core of it. As a user, I know that, all the labels, I can easily correlate. Those are the labels I see it on the mid-tier UI. So I can easily correlate to those fields, and I can just drag and drop, and I can start creating a report. So that was creating a report. Creating dashboard is a similar experience where I can just, drag and drop some of the existing report and create a dashboard from this report. So I just kind of, drag the existing report, and then I can size it. I can define what all information I want to see and publish it as a new dashboard. So let me show you some of the cool capabilities around social aspect of the tool. So let me pick up this incident submission trend. So in this incident submission trend, I have a couple of things added already here. I can add some comments. So when I'm sharing this report or showing this report to someone else who's looking at this report, I have some comment available so that people can quickly understand if there is a particular trend or there is a peak in this report. People can easily comment on this. I can get those comments right in my email reporting inbox. I can mark this report as favorite so that every time I log in, I can this is the report which is available handy in my inbox. I can distribute. Let me show you the distribution. So I can share this report with other people so that a copy is sent to those people right away. Or I can define a broadcast schedule so that every day or every week or every minute this report is sent to people or group of people. Or I can configure it to send only if set of rules are met. So I can define that when there are more than 5 critical incidents, that's when you send me this report in my email inbox. So those are some of the ways that you can it enables the collaboration within the group or with different people using smart reporting. Before I kind of go back to the slide deck, there's one thing that I want to quickly show here is about storyboard. So most times when we kind of use reporting, at least in my case, the way I would use reporting is I'll take the report, I'll put it in the PowerPoint presentation and then share it with people or kind of present it to the people, and that's where PowerPoint is more kind of global phenomenon to share your report analysis, your data to broader audience. But the challenge with when you kind of do anything which is not a reporting solution is you don't have an interactive experience. So for example, I take let's say the same data about the incident and show it to someone. I'll not have an option to drill down to specific details if someone asks for it. Or by the time I'm presenting it, the data might be already stale. Also, if I'm kind of making this presentation as part of my quarterly review, every 3 months I'll have a task to create that presentation and update my data and analysis. So how does smart reporting really help with any of this situation? It does help because it includes a completely new integrated presentation and collaboration technique that's called storyboarding. It's like PowerPoint, but it's much better than it. So for example, you can see here, I have created one storyboard that talks about, ADDM benefits. Then, like, you can see the slider here. I can go to the next slide, which talks about, how the ADDM adoption has been, over the last couple of months. And this is a storyboard where, I have added text here. But as I kind of, go to the next slide, you'll see that I am able to not only add some of the content on the right, but I'm able to use some of the charts which are existing for CMDB dashboard here. So I'm able to show some of the, the CI creation trend. And if I want, I can, drill down. I can, go to the hourly chart or the weekly chart. I can go from, I just don't have multiple metrics, but if I had multiple metrics, I can, use that right here. So the interaction, the interactive option that offers right in the tool using storyboards are fabulous here. And I can have multiple chart. I can have a chart which is static, which kind of gives me data for today, and it's static. Or I can have a chart which is kind of, every time it refreshes and gives me the the latest data. So that's where you don't have to have, let's say you're doing this reviews every month or every quarter. You can just have this template available. You can go and refresh this chart and then add your analysis as your comment, and you're good to go. It doesn't stop at adding the charts and comments, but you can add your additional videos or other content as well here. And you can do like the way we have the backup slide where there's a lot more supporting data. You can also have that supporting data available right here, so that you don't have to exit and go to the the reporting tool, but right from here you can go to those specific charts that gives you additional information which is not represented in this chart. So this is a great way to kind of show your data, show your analysis, do this in a recurrent fashion, then taking the dump and stick it in the PowerPoint. So the storyboard in summary takes the collaboration in context of specifically for reporting and analytics to the whole new level. And as we kind of share this functionality with customers, we are sure that there will be far more additional use cases that we'll have people using it than we kind of we started with this whole the storyboarding. So let me go back to my presentation, a few more slides, and then we'll open it for question and answers. So to quickly summarize our presentation today, we talked about smart reporting, the new reporting solution that we introduced in Remedy 9 release. The best approach for adopting smart reporting is you kind of start phasing in smart reporting, but at the same time you don't have to replace drop or the BOT and DNA immediately. So if you have seen the Remedy 9 what's new, you would realize that at this moment we are not dropping BOT and DNA. So if you are kind of starting from 8.x or 7x version to 9.0 upgrade, at the time of upgrade, you can continue to use your existing reporting options, and over a period of time, you can move to smart reporting. You can start phasing in your new reporting requests or new groups using smart reporting. If you're wondering what is right time for adopting or starting Remedy 9 adoption, the time is right now. We already released Remedy 9 in April-May timeframe. We are talking about SP1, so it's pack 1 for Remedy 9 to be available soon. And when I say soon, it's not months and weeks, but it's literally days or hours for the SP1 to be available. And smart reporting is our long-term choice of reporting technology for future. So you'll see that Smart IT is going to have some of their reporting to be available through smart reporting. There are other products within the Remedy umbrella that you will start using smart reporting. So smart reporting is going to be more pervasive when you talk about the reporting technology within Remedy. when we kind of got to the beta and post beta, some of the customers who are trying that for as part of their 9.0 adoption, they have really loved smart reporting solution. There's very positive feedback coming from customers. And I'm sure when you looked at the demo today, you would have thought, this was the tool that I needed yesterday. So don't wait any further. Start talking to your executives about the Remedy 9.0 adoption, and smart reporting will help you to get buy-in for upgrading to 9.0. There are a few references here. Sharath talked about some of the best practices, rebranding, how to onboard. All of those are available here. As we kind of distribute the deck and the video later, you can go through the doc site and take a look at some of these references. So let's open this forum for Q&A. Greg, there might be a few questions, or Duncan, there might be a few questions that you would have seen on the chat. So maybe we can take those if you have those.
Yes. Hi, Rahul. This is Steve. I do have a few questions lined up for you.
Great.
The first question is, smart reporting is provided as an application. So is it required to license this application? If so, what are the license costs?
I would call this as a $1 million question, but it is not a single dollar question. So, so this smart reporting solution is available out of the box, and it comes at no extra pricing for ITSM customers. So smart reporting license is included in the ITSM application. As you upgrade your ITSM application to 9.0 version, you have option to start using it. There is no additional license fees or no additional license migration or none of these things that you need to do. So you're good to go from the moment you upgrade to 9.0.
Great, thank you. The next question is, BMC offered a few reporting options in the past, which included in-house or in-app reporting based on BERT, dashboard, and analytics. What will happen to these reporting options in the future?
Yeah, another great question. So as we kind of, the first thing that customers will appreciate is when we introduce smart reporting, we haven't taken out the BOT or DNA or any of those reporting options, and that was with the intent that we want customers to upgrade to 9.0 to take benefit of all the great things that we have added in Remedy 9 release. And if you were to put a restriction or the migration from DNA or BOT to smart reporting, then it kind of adds to customers' challenge to complete the migration before the upgrade to 9.0. So intentionally we left all the reporting options available and made smart reporting available as an additive feature. So what happens to the dashboard analytics or BERT? There is no status change for those products in the immediate future, but as you will start experiencing it, customers will see that if you compare new smart reporting and you compare it with, let's say, dashboard, there are significant overlaps there. You can see that the visualizations are more compelling with smart reporting. So we will have some of those direction to kind of consolidate our reporting technologies in the future. But at the moment, when we talk about the 9.0 or the service pack, we are not making any of those changes. So for customers who are using it, they should start thinking about the 9.0 adoption and smart reporting adoption, but nothing is changing for other technologies at this moment.
Great, thank you. Will smart reporting 9.0 work with existing ITSM versions like 7.6 or 8.1?
Currently, no. We are certifying this smart reporting only with Remedy ITSM 9 release, which include the entire stack, the AR, CMDB 9 and the ITSM 9. So currently the only option is you upgrade your entire stack to Remedy 9 and then start using smart reporting. And in fact, that will be one of your, when you're pitching Remedy 9 upgrade to your executive, this is one of the strong reasons for you to move to Remedy 9 rather than have that, the combination of some elements or, some components upgraded to 9 and then you have, some components which are still on the earlier version. So the recommendation is you do the entire 9.0 upgrade and that's where you'll realize full value of Remedy, including smart reporting.
Okay, thank you. Does smart reporting support the creation of Gantt charts?
Best to my knowledge, it is not supported Gantt chart. Because I think mostly the data that we are talking about is analytical data or the data that you want to analyze. Whereas Gantt chart, as my understanding, is mostly for the task completion, which is not available in the smart reporting today.
Thank you. Can smart reporting handle federated data for the CMDB?
So federation, it's going to be a tricky answer for this because when we talk about the CMDB federation, there are there are multiple federation techniques. One of the federation techniques is when the data is copied to the CMDB or AR form. There are others when the data is not copied but referenced. For example, if I have the federation with HPU CMDB, Atrium CMDB, then most of the data is still in HPU CMDB. I just have some kind of references available in Atrium CMDB. In that case, you can't use it. Reporting can't be used. But if you are using the other federation technique where you partly copy the data into Atrium CMDB dataset, then yes, you can use smart reporting to report against that data.
Great, thank you. Can reports be exported and imported between different AR environments?
Yes. The smart reporting has, for the administrator, they have an option to, take the XML data for that reporting. So which, the XML definition can include a couple of things. One, it can include the reporting definition. So let's say, the incident or, the change reports that I have created. Those report definition can be put in XML. Second is if I have a semantic view that I have created, that can be also made part of that XML. And once I kind of generate this XML, I can take it to the other server, and once there are some validation that happen on the other server, and it can be very well imported on the other server. So using XML, it will allow you to do this import-export between different reporting servers.
Perfect, thank you. Can we apply a formula for a particular column?
Yeah, this is tricky. So maybe I'll request Praful if he's on call to take this up.
Yeah, Rahul. Yeah, so we can apply formulas. So currently, few formulas are supported. In future, we are adding more complex function like date and all those will be added in future.
Right. And Praful, we have few examples added, right? So for example, number of incidents is one of the formula, or one of the field that we have added at the reporting layer. Is that the right example I'm quoting here?
Yeah, yes, because it's create count, and there are few which we quoted on communities also. So there are options available. Even I'm not sure, but I think in videos also we have shown that.
Okay, that's great. Okay, thanks, Praful.
Thank you. Can we expose smart reporting views to other components like EDW for extracting data?
I'm not sure if I get this question. So if anyone else from your reporting team can get it, maybe they can answer it.
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the question is, can we expose smart reporting views to other components like EDW for extracting data?
No, yeah, so no, we cannot because.
Yeah, go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, so no, we cannot because smart reporting work only with AR forms. So any data in AR forms, only that can be used in smart reporting and not from for any other sources.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I kind of, hey, Greg, I kind of, get it now. So I'll put it, other way. So maybe what people are trying to ask is, can this reporting be used for getting data from sources other than AR? The answer is no. So currently, the way we have, integrated the whole solution is it can only connect to AR application using JDBC as the data source. And once it kind of connects to AR, it can get you all the information about the different AR applications and the ITSM data, but you can't connect it to the third-party application to get data from that third-party application. Let's say like the SAP ERP application or Oracle finance application. None of those.
Okay, thank you. Does KPI reporting rely on the SLM module for its indicators/thresholds, or can these be added ad hoc in the KPI report build?
It doesn't rely on SLM. It's the backend is based on the core of the flashboards technology. I missed the last part of the question.
The last question was, or can these be added ad hoc in the KPI report build?
No, so currently there's no part of the SLM type functionality in it. KPIs are essentially aggregations that happen on a daily basis and then summaries of those aggregations. So whatever you see in the KPI reports are essentially views that go against those aggregated forms.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Sharath, Sharath, I think this question has two dimensions. One is on SLM indicator. So yes, you can report on SLM indicators like how many my tickets are breached and all those details you can get from smart reporting. And another was, can I put the on KPIs indicator dynamically? So you can right now put static indicator which customer can change anytime, but you cannot read from other like SLM or something and put against KPI.
Okay, thank you. Is it planned to use smart reporting with other BMC tools such as ADDM, Blade, BPPM, and be able to report across those data sources?
The answer today is no. I think where we are going with smart reporting is maybe this is going to be our technology of choice for Remedy products for sure. In the near term, smart IT is the one planning to exploiting how they can use smart reporting. But when we are talking about the BSM use case, that's not where we are headed. We have some other options being evaluated, but we are not going to have that discussion here. But smart reporting is not the the choice for the BSM use case for sure.
Thank you. Can I add external data source to our current ITSM and then build reports in smart reporting?
Okay, so allow to kind of give an example how we allow it. So if let's say a customer takes that data source and creates integration at the AR form level, copies that data in the AR form, then yes, you can use smart reporting to report against it. So just to give an example here, for example, I have resource management data, let's say coming from HR application. So I integrate HR application with AR, add some custom form, start copying from the data into AR, those forms. Then yes, you can use that data in the context of ITSM and start reporting. But if your expectation is I'm able to connect to AR or ITSM at the same time want to connect to that HR application independently and pull that data, then it's not possible.
Okay, thank you. Will there be a new BI4 universe provided with the 9.0 upgrade?
So if I understand the question, if it is in the context of our analytics, the BO universe, as part of the analytics, I'm kind of, maybe I don't have the exact version, but it was 8.1 patch 1 or SP1 that we made compatible with Remedy 9. So as customers upgrade to that analytics version, they can start using analytics in that specific version of analytics with Remedy 9. It is, this discussion has nothing to do with smart reporting, I guess. It is more to do with, analytics, which version of analytics works with 9.0. So there is a version of analytics solution available which works with Remedy 9. And it is a minor upgrade. It is not a net new definition of BO.
Okay, thank you. How can one leverage smart reporting against custom applications built on the Remedy platform?
So unfortunately, at this point of time, smart reporting is available for ITSM customers only. We are looking at options for AR application, the customers who have built their custom AR application, how they can use smart reporting. But at this moment, the licensing is only entitled to the ITSM customers. You can expect an announcement, hopefully, before end of this year, to kind of, how we are enabling it for AR custom application. But as of today, 9.0 release is pretty much available only for the ITSM applications alone.
Okay, but if they did have ITSM already, in addition to custom applications, then would your answer be different?
Yes. If you have ITSM application and let's say facility management AR application that you have built, then you can maybe you can use the same thing if you have the ITSM installed there. But if you are just a custom AR application, then the answer is no. So the prerequisite in simple word is you need to have ITSM application installed in your enterprise.
Okay, and I'm down to my last question here, and this is kind of, it's similar to a question that was asked earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it. Can smart reporting be connected to other BMC application sources like BPPM or ADDM for extracting reports?
Yeah, so as we said earlier, the answer is no. Smart reporting is pretty focused on ITSM at this moment. We don't have any plans to make it available for the BSM use cases. We'll have some other solution available from BMC, but smart reporting is pretty much focused on service support at this moment.
Okay, and actually we do have a few more questions coming in. Are you considering adding markup tools to storyboarding?
Hey, I don't get it. Can you just repeat the question?
Editing tools, right?
Yeah. The question one more time is
editing tools.
Yeah. Are you considering adding markup tools to storyboarding?
So the storyboard itself can be customized. So the template that I kind of use was the default BMC template, but that customers can add their own template. They can once that template is available, the users can use that template. They can add a lot of content. They can change a whole lot of content from that template. So there is kind of storyboard is part of the application where you can do all of those kind of changes in the application itself, the storyboarding application itself. There is no external mockup or plugins available to kind of take it to the next level. So currently it has a lot of capabilities, but those are all within the storyboard application itself.
Okay. Next question is, Do the reporting browser users need to have access to Remedy Incident Management module so as to see a report based on incident management views shared to them by the report writer/admin?
Hey, Praful, can you take that up on the report access?
Yeah. Yes. Smart reporting is in sync with AR security. So if you can see the data in AR, only then you will see the data in smart reporting. That's when, in simple word, you need a permission, at least view permission in incident management if you want to see the incident management data. You can see the report structure, but once you refresh, you will get error that you don't have rights on that columns.
Okay, thank you. And actually, this is a follow-up to the storyboard one. It said, you know, you put a storyboard out there and people can post comments or highlight parts of it.
Right. Yeah, so all of that is possible. So if I publish, before publishing the user story, I can, add all my analysis or, my decisions or all the material to that storyboard. But once I publish it, there are other people who can, comment on it. They can, have all kind of discussion going around that storyboard. So all the collaboration thing that we talked about for reporting is pretty much available for storyboarding as well.
Great, and since we're almost out of time here, this is going to be the final question. What is mobilized for? Only for reports or also for the forms applications?
Hey, can you repeat? We couldn't hear it well.
Okay, one more time. What is mobilized for? Only for reports or also for the forms and applications?
Are you referring to the mobile support?
Yeah, it's going to be so the entire smart reporting application is available on mobile. At this moment, when I talk about mobile, it's only through the browsers available on the mobile. I'm not talking about the application, the app or mobile app per se. So because it's all HTML5 application, it will render similar to what you get on your desktop browser. In the future, we are talking about making this application available as the mobile app. And when we talk about the mobile app, the key use case will be making this the dashboard available, make the reports available. Some of the advanced things for administrators, like the creating report or creating views, some of those features will not be available through the mobile application. They will be available through the regular interface. So when we talk about the future, that's where the direction we are headed. But currently, if you access smart reporting on the mobile browser, it's going to be the same rendering experience as you get on your desktop UI.
Great. Thank you very much, Rahul. With that, we'll go ahead and conclude this month's Connect with Remedy webinar. Thank you for your attendance. Take care and have a great rest of your day.
Now and forever, we bring IT to life.